Did you ever steal a gum?
Oops, we did it again. You stole a gum, and I stole a car. Oh, wait, what?
There is no difference between us, right? Or is there? Why am I on the floor? Well, it's a new camera, so I'm testing it. Just want to see how it looks like when I move around. Oh no, you can see the mess in my room. Wait, neutral. I don't want you to see the way I'm living. Sorry, opened my legs. Anyway. Okay, so it's a funny question. Did you steal a candy at some point and someone else stole a car and you kind of committed the same crime, so you're the same, aren't you? Okay, so this example might seem extreme to you, but I want to share something. How people think in real life and why we got to the situation we're at globally. You see, people don't understand. They don't have moral clarity anymore. They don't see the difference between, you need to judge by case by case. Let's say it's a soldier. A soldier had to do something that, things that sometimes soldiers do because they wanted to protect whoever they are protecting. It's different than somebody who takes a baby and gets, is suffocating them with their bare hands. I know. It is different, even though the end result is the same. Somebody lost their lives. It's not the same. But for some reason, we lost that moral clarity. So what brought about this question? Well, let me sit down for a sec.
People make excuses. Why did I steal a car? Oh, I bet you really needed a car because you were stranded in the middle of the desert in Australia and somebody left the car and that person who left the car got a stroke and after that you didn't manage to find his family or relatives, so you had to take the car and this is how you stole it. They tell a whole story to justify somebody stealing a car. How about you actually do the research and understand that this person is a maniac that likes stealing cars because they like watching people feel despair.
The terrorists became very mean and very cruel and violent.
More so.
Much more so. They were beating me and starving me.
Do you think they starved you or they just didn't have food?
No, I think they starved me and they would often eat in front of me and not offer me food.
What inspired this video is two useful idiots. One of them is...
That's remarkable.
Common ground between Islam, Christianity, and Judaism.
Yes.
That would be a wonderful course. And it sounds like you've done a tremendous amount of background work preparing for that.
I just saw that Dr. Jordan Peterson had interviewed some useful idiot to start talking about how amazingly Jesus is portrayed in the Quran after he read the Quran.
That's what all Christians believe too.
Mm-hmm.
So of course I appreciate that as part of the Quran.
Are you sure you read the Quran? Because I don't think you did, sir.
You study the Quran?
Right.
You studied it. I've been studying it for years, Your Excellency. Well, what do you think of it? I think it's marvelous. I have disagreements, but I found things that I appreciated.
The only way you can think something's good there is if you are completely delusional and ignore the other half of the sentence, like, oh, how beautiful. The Quran quotes, if you kill a man, it says, if you killed mankind, because every man is a whole entire world.
Whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul, or for corruption in the land, it is as if he had killed all mankind.
Read the whole paragraph, you lazy Fs.
Because of that, we decreed upon the children of Israel that whoever kills a soul, unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as if he had killed all mankind, and whoever saves one, it is as if he had saved all mankind. And our messengers had certainly come to them with clear proofs. Then indeed many of them, after that, committed transgression throughout the land. What this Quran verse actually does is not to wisely tell Muslims that killing someone is like killing humankind. What it does is to assert that God told the Israelites that this was a rule, and that the Israelites became transgressors afterwards anyways.
And the second person is somebody who works in that field as well, which I don't want to out, who was like, I'm against Islamism. And I told him, there is no difference between Islamism and Islam, and every Muslim is obligated to do jihad, otherwise they're not Muslim.
Is obligatory upon all Muslims. Jihad is at war with everyone because we're in the Dar al-Harb. We're in the house of war. They live in the house of Islam. So therefore, a lie told for the purposes of jihad is not recorded as a lie. Allah doesn't record those lies, so it's not a sin.
And he was like, you know what, but also in Judaism, if somebody eats pork, you're supposed to, I think he said, like, stone them. Actually, you're supposed to give them lashes if you go by Asian tradition. Does anyone ever do that? No. So this is what I told him. What kind of rabbi would not let you go to the synagogue even if he knows that you eat pork and shrimps, that you don't think of kosher? And he said, like, what do you mean? But what kind of imam would not let you pray if you don't follow jihad?
And then he even said, oh, there's a mosque here, we can go and pray together, and then you are willing to give your life to Allah, kun shaheed.
You know, I have another story. In the conference, there was a rabbi and a gay person passed by, and the reason I know he's gay is because he's famous. And I was like, hey, come join us. And he looked and he was like, no, and he left. And I was like, oh my, that was rude. And the rabbi said, you know, I'm a rabbi. Sometimes gays, they are afraid of us because they don't know how to talk to us, or they're afraid of us because of the religion, and they know like Judaism doesn't endorse being gay. So, but really, I don't mind, and it's okay. Don't worry about it. I prefer to judge him in favor. I prefer to say something nice about him rather than say he's rude. I really do understand why some gay people would be hesitant to talk to rabbis like me, even though really I'm not bothered by it at all.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
While the imam, the Muslim imam that dared to say he was gay was brutally lynched not too long ago. This is not the same religion, and people are lazy. People are like, oh, Christianity this and that. Judaism does this and that. But you do not understand that there is a fundamental difference between the religions.
A woman is worth half a man. A Christian is worth a third of a Muslim. A Zoroastrian and other pagans are worth a 15th of a Muslim.
This is Islam. All right, let's be all morally clear about the difference between, sometimes we do bad things, like the British Empire, we had slaves, and there is still slavery all over the Muslim world. You know, all the torture methods that the Muslims used, Hamas used on October 7th and other places, were described in their books and the Hadith and the Quran. Yeah, you need to cut the hand of a child that you just took and the opposite leg, and this is how they brutalized a kid. And the reason they did it is not because they went ham, which they did, it's because this is what's written in their books.
Indeed, the penalty for those who wage war against Allah and His Messenger and strive upon earth to cause corruption is none but that they be killed or crucified, or that their hands and feet be cut off from opposite sides, or that they be exiled from the land. That is for them a disgrace in the world, and for them in the hereafter is a great punishment. Holy, killed or crucified, or hands and feet be cut off from opposite sides as a horrifying punishment, or exiled.
Yes, how about the due diligence of understanding what's in front of you? And by the way, it's my grandma's birthday, so happy birthday, Grandma. Yeah, sorry for featuring in a little bit of a brutal video. All right, like, comment, subscribe. I have links below if you guys want to support me. Your support means a lot. This is the only way I can keep my channel going. And I have a course called Understanding Humanity, which has 12 live sessions and a workbook, which is incredible. And I do recommend you joining to the next round. So the links are down below. And if you don't want to join the course, really, you should all want to join the course, there is a Buy Me Coffee and Patreon as well. So thank you so much for being here, and see you later.
عندما وضعت القرآن والأحاديث والكتب الإسلامية تحت عدسة مجهري توصلت إلى قناعة مطلقة: لا يمكن أن يقرأ إنسان السيرة النبوية لمحمد ويؤمن بها ويخرج إلى الحياة إنسانا سليما معافى نفسيا وعقليا.